Hey everyone, we are in our Bible reading plan, and here we are. We're going into the book of Revelation here in the last part of the year. So I want to just encourage you to get in it, to read it, to enjoy it, and to just come with an open mind. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'll do a few videos as we go along in our reading over the next few weeks. And it might not be quite as fanciful and looking into the future events and mysterious things and identifying how, certain countries might turn on other countries and all this stuff. That's not where we're going. And I hope that you'll at least be open, if you've heard some of that stuff, to listen, maybe with a fresh ear. And I want to start today in Revelation chapter 2. And I think a very important foundational thing here is that Jesus starts talking through John to 7 churches in Asia Minor. And so I've just called this, Jesus knows and he is with us. Listen to this. It says in Revelation chapter 2, verse 1, it says, "These are the words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right hand and walks among the 7 golden lampstands. I know your deeds, your hard work, your perseverance. I know that you cannot tolerate wicked people." And it kind of goes on and on. The things that these are the things I know that are happening. I know you've stood up for. I know what you do. And he goes on and talks about, and I know that you are not as passionate about me as you once were. And he addresses that. And it says, so Jesus, what I want us to see is that Jesus is always with his people. Through all circumstances, trials, through victories, God is with us. Jesus promised to be with us. He's with us. He always desires to help us. He always desires to comfort his church. And he desires to correct his church. We are his lamps for the world. It's giving you some imagery here. And we deal with this all through Revelation. But some imagery of lamps at a lampstands and so on and so forth. So those who hold the stars in his right hand. Okay, so this is all describing Jesus and his church. And we are his lamps for the world. And he desires to trim our wicks and refuel us with oil so that we can become more and more radiant with his radiance in the darkest of times. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. Jesus is encouraging and correcting and helping and comforting. I want you to be this for the world. And you're going to need to wake up and hear. He always ends with, he who has, if you have ears to hear this, listen. He goes on to the church in Smyrna. He says, in verse 8 of chapter 2, "These are the words of him who is the first and the last, who died and came to life again." And he says, "I know your afflictions, your poverty, yet you're rich." So he goes on with the words to the church there in Smyrna and declares that he is the first and the last. And so you might think, well, who is this? Is this God the Father, the first and the last? No, it's a picture of who Jesus is, who was there from the beginning of creation, who was with God, who has always been, and he was dead, but now is alive. It's almost like, it's funny, it's like you would think, well, I'm alive and then I die. But Jesus is reminding us that he was dead and that was the beginning of life again. No longer are we under the curse of sin and death. We are alive. And so he's saying, I was dead, but now I'm alive. So oh, this is Jesus, right? So he goes on and to encourage his church, you know, as people in the world. He wants his churches to glorify him. And it's for the people of God, it's for their benefit that we, the church, brings glory to him. Jesus wanted all of his churches to know that they are seen. I know this about you. I know this about you. I know this about you. That should ring in our ears, that Jesus knows what's going on in our lives, what's going on in our congregations, what's going on in the world around us. And he loves us and he cares for us. And we can be assured of this promise in Matthew 28, verse 20, where he says, I will be with you to the very end of the age. Jesus will always be with us. And I hope that you hear that and hear such a blessing. So anyway, so I'm going to stop there today, but I hope that is a blessing to you, and I hope that encourages you. And so may the Lord guide us and help us to know that we're loved, and we do need that correction at times as well. So let's listen to his ears. I mean, with our ears to his words. So God bless you guys, and be encouraged. I hope you listen to this. I hope you share it with some friends if it's inspirational. I hope most of all you read chapter 2 in its entirety. God bless you all, and we'll talk again about these things soon.